You want best and better English speaking skills. After you go and search on YouTube good English with Raj. Okay, every video is very useful. Every video is very effective and useful for mature for your English speaking skills. Every video is very nice. You try to observe my presentation capacity. Okay, I have two brothers. One sister passed away. In another way, the other sister is settled in Puttaparthi. Married and settled in Puttaparthi. My elder brother is Ganeshu, advocate. In another way, the another one is headmaster. Both are well educated person. My brother completed his graduation at BT College. My another brother also completed his graduation in BT College both. In another way, I discontinued my degree studies the same BT College. Degree with my family problems, so I totally stopped my education. In another way, I did not stop my learning journey. I am every minute learn. In another way, I give importance about 25% about learning. In another way, after 75% about give importance about presentation process, communication process. I am a very good communicator, not a learner. Learner means I have a lot of interest in learning. In another way, firstly, I try to develop my communication with others. Okay, this is also mature for my one of the reason mature for my English speaking skills. Everyone knows about that. I'm a very good English speaker and a very good motivational speaker in English and a very good English article writer. My brother completed his graduation at BT College and he completed his law in Sri Krishna Devara University, Anantapur. My another brother is headmaster. He retired now, Prabhu Prasad. He completed his graduation at the same BT College and he completed his BEd, Bachelor of Education, in Vidyanagar, Nellore. So both are retired now. In another way, I completed my intermediate studies in my native town, Punganuru. Punganuru is my native town. I only completed my intermediate studies. After I joined degree in Madanpalli. The same BT College. My brothers so both are studied in BT College. The same BT College I joined degree, but with my family problems, I totally stopped my education, discontinued my education. Actually, after I took my profession like art fields because since my childhood I have a lot of interest at artworks. I'm a very good artist. Everyone knows about that. In my elementary stage also, in 5th standard also, I drew very beautiful artworks of movie heroes. Suppose I had any money, after I did not waste that money. After immediately went and took and bought some white papers. But that night I did not sleep well. I could not sleep well. The next early morning I woke up and took the white papers and papers and pad and pencil or pad, that material. I took and sat in front of the movie posters and started to draw movie actor pictures images like a Gajudanga. NTR's movie, the famous, the great hit movie, Gajudanga. Some persons were supplied milk to coffee caves and tea stalls. That milk vendors are informed that issue to my house. That issue of I sat in front of the movie posters and I drew very beautiful artworks of movie actors. After my brothers were came and took to me to my house. This is my interest. In another way, dictionary appeared any person's house. After I did not waste 1 minute also, I immediately went and took that dictionary and tried to buy a dictionary. Okay, it explains I have a lot of interest in anything and everything. I am a very good artist also, and I had a lot of interest in English also. That time in my 5th standard also, in my college days, I focused on my interest upon handwriting because my handwriting was very beautiful that time. Compared to my group only, HSC, History, Economics, Politics. I took History, Economics, Politics in intermediate. But in another way, I had a lot of interest at English. This reason, I focused on my interest upon only upon my handwriting. In another way, every day I went and read a lot of magazines, mostly English newspapers and English weeklies. Times of India, the Hindu newspapers. I try to read some articles. So I matured my English speaking. One of the reason my interest in reading also. I'm a very good reader also. In my high school days, in my elementary days, my brother ran a hotel. At that time, my brother already completed the graduation in BT college, but he started a hotel. We had a hotel. That time, my brother bought a Hindu paper. So that time I got a fever, typhoid. So I did not waste 1 minute also. I drew very beautiful artworks of sculptures that time, because that Hindu magazine published printed very beautiful sculptures. That is also one of the artworks. The great artist line drawing artworks. So I copied that artworks as it is on paper. I sometimes I remind about that artworks. So that artworks came very well. Currently, that pictures also in my mind. My artworks also in my mind. Okay. After I matured my English speaking skills. In my elementary stage, I had a lot of interest at watching movies. So sometime I watched very beautiful videos, but I returned to my house. My brother, they kidding me. So I explained about, described about that movies, movie dialogues, and heroes dance performance in front of my brother. My brother laughed at me a lot of times. Okay, so my brothers are actually my well-wishers in another way, best encouragement to me. In financially, already previous video I explained about my situation. Not only in encouragement, in financial way also they are my well supporters. This reason may make my own identity. It explains not only encouragement, financial support also compulsory to everyone for growing for their life, growing for their career. I am also one of the best example. Okay, I explained already previous videos, so sometime I explained about any store and every store only sell material, not a talent. But you mature your talent depend upon, you mature your skills depend upon only upon yourself. But encouragement only some part. In another way, you have a lot of interest, you have a lot of dedication, you have a lot of concentration. In another way, you have a lot of patience. To process, develop your skills. I am also encouragement. I receive every encouragement in a honor way. In another way, perfectly understand about what my talent is, what my capacity is. This reason, I already started one WhatsApp group. In another way, I already started Facebook group, both groups. So in another way, some of my videos uploaded in on YouTube. Good English with Raj. You try to search on YouTube Good English with Raj. So you try to, I try to. Hope you already watched this video, and this is very nice video. Firstly, you try to observe my video. You try to watch my video again and again and again. After you are also mature your English speaking skills. This process very useful for interviews. Suppose sometime you try to attend an interviews. So you get to some interview, so that time you don't feel like a nervous, you don't fear about that. In another way, in your mind any idea, you firstly develop your clarity compulsory to everyone. You try to discuss with any topic, you try to attend any interview, but you compulsory clarity compulsory upon subject. So in your mind you try to develop your subject commanding. I am also very good subject commander. I try to discuss upon any topic hours and hours. I don't fear about that. Already recently I discussed with American, that Bhumiel, that madam name is, that woman belongs to America, Virginia, very next to Washington DC, District of Columbia. That is president's headquarters. DC means District of Columbia. So that woman is a student advisor. That woman also praised about my English speaking skill. But that woman, you know about American language is English. Their mother tongue is English. Totally anywhere, everywhere, prefers only English language. In another, compared to that woman English speaking skills, my English speaking skills only not done. Everyone guess about that. In another way, I don't fear about that. In another way, I took nearly in 1 hour 45 minutes. I took a lot of time to discuss with that woman. That woman took only 15 minutes. 45 minutes. I try to explain about our situation, our culture, everything about my English speaking journey, anything and everything. So this reason, firstly you try to watch my videos again and again. You don't waste any this opportunity also. Firstly, fluency compulsory. You don't by head any. This is not a by head process. It's a understanding process. It's a not a guess process. So it's the perfect clarity process. You don't guess anything and everything. This is you compulsory to a lot of clarity upon anything and everything. Actually, my mother tongue Kannada. You know about I'm currently living in Andhra Pradesh. Regional language, native language is Telugu, but I speak English better than Telugu and Kannada because English like my best friend since my childhood. In my elementary stage also, I had a lot of knowledge in vocabulary. Thousands of the vocabulary I had in my fifth standard also. In my after slowly I mature my English speaking. One of the reason I'm a very good reader also. I read a lot of magazines, hundreds of the magazines, books, English articles. So one of the reason also this process. So only any person overnight does not make himself a very good speaker in English. It takes some time. In another way, sometime, not only sometime, you compulsory sacrifice some time in your life. Sacrifice something. Not a time pass way. You don't take English speaking skills like a time pass way, but you compulsory you take this process like a challenging. Because you know about entire world connects with entire world depends on English language. Suppose you have a lot of English speaking, it means you have a lot of money because anytime and every time English speaking is very useful to you. You for create for better society. In another way, you try to motivate a lot of people. Currently, a lot of youngsters are they completed their graduation. Some youngsters are they completed their graduation universities also. But in another way, they try to approach to me. In another way, I try to give myself best suggestion to the university students already. Some youngsters are preparing for a higher examination. Some youngsters are doing job in private sector. So some instances they plan to they study in abroad. So different aims and goals. But in another way, they approach to me. In another way, I try to give myself best suggestion to the youngsters. In another, a lot of youngsters that they failed in their interview. So, but sometimes not only sometimes a lot of youngsters that approach to me. In another way, my side I try to give best suggestion to the youngsters. You don't feel about yourself. You don't feel like a nervous. In another way, you have any skills. Firstly, you open it. You try to prove your natural behavior. You don't expect about English speaking skills like your dignity. You try to discuss with others. You try to explain in the very intelligent way. This is very intelligence. Compared to a lot of people education, a lot of youngsters education, my education is one ordinary. But compared to a lot of people education, my English also very good. I don't underestimate that persons, educated people. In another way, I try to explain about what my talent is, what my capacity is. I have a lot of dedication, I have a lot of interest, I have a lot of concentration, I have a lot of presentation capacity. In another way, I have a lot of learning nature. This reason I mature my English speaking skills. Another way, I try to give myself best suggestion to a lot of youngsters. I am a successful person in this process. In compulsory encouragement. In my elementary stage also, my brothers were well educated, but they well encouraged to me. This reason, I make my own identity in every domain. Okay, in the future, exactly, I will start in English coaching center in my area. I don't have any certificates. In another way, I try to take another person's some cooperation. Certified person, but in another way, I try to explain about English speaking skills, presentation capacity. In the presentation way, this is presentation capacity. I'm trying to explain everything. It's called presentation. Presentation means you compulsory you don't feel about that. You don't feel like a exciting. You don't feel like a tension. Okay, you don't feel like a fear. You don't feel like a nervous. You try to discuss everyone in natural way. I am also. I am also trying to explain everything in the natural way. I don't expect anything about myself directly. I feel myself I am not an ordinary person. This reason I try to mature anything and everything very interestingly. I already, some minutes before, I already explained about I am a every minute learner. In another way, I give importance of 25% about learning. In another way, I mature anything, I learn anything, that process, I try to develop my communication with others. Firstly, you try to learn anything, firstly, you try to search some communication. But without a communication, your learning process is totally 100% waste process. Okay, communication process is better than learning process. Learning process is correct for your mistakes, but communication process you growth in your life. You don't feel about the present situation. Okay, present gain. Okay, present profit. In other, this is long process. English speaking skills like a long process. So English speaking is compulsory to everyone. Upcoming years, 100% fact. It's a 100% fact. English speaking skills compulsory to everyone for make for their own identity. Spend their life happily, peacefully, because in the future an artificial tries to command the human life, not human history. Human history commands only with human natures. Okay, manpower. This is also one of the manpower. I did not take any coaching with any institution actually. From zero level, my mature my English speaking skills from zero level. Currently, I speak best and better English. This is not my opinion. A lot of people opinion. I am a successful person in this process. Okay, this reason you try to receive some inspiration with me. Okay, this is also very useful to you. Firstly, you try to watch my video again and again. You don't neglect my, you don't underestimate me. In another way, you don't neglect my videos. Good English with Raju. You try to search on YouTube. After most valuable message appears are there. Firstly, you try to discuss with anyone, everyone. In another way, you don't underestimate yourself. In another way, you don't high expectation about others also. You try to show normal behavior, balanced nature. You don't feel like you feel yourself you are an ordinary person after you don't explain about what your talent is, what your capacity in front of the your English speaking partner. Firstly, you try to show your natural behavior. Okay.